So I have a story I want to share with you to start off this episode. So this may have been like 5 years ago. I was working as a business development consultant for the world's leading facilitation company. And just in case you want to know, that's just a fancy way of saying, when I say business development consultant, that's just a fancy way of saying I was a salesperson or a sales professional, however you want to call that. Okay. And I was working for this company, and it was located in Dunwoody, Georgia, which is it is north of downtown Atlanta. It's a suburb of the area. It's a very nice area. All right. A lot of top tier businesses are operated up in that area. And so I was headed to the office, right? Well, actually, I was already at the office, and I think I was heading downstairs to go to lunch this one particular day. So I get on the elevator, and because I was heading down a little bit earlier, the elevator wasn't filled with people heading out to lunch. So I was heading out to lunch just a little bit earlier than usual. So I get on the elevator, and there's this lady, this older lady, that as soon as I got on the elevator, she came out of one of the offices near the elevator and hurried up and was coming onto the elevator with me, right? So I held the door open, and she's talking on the phone, on her cell phone with someone. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Thank you so much. Right. So she hangs up the phone, and she was like, I hate salespeople. Goodness gracious. And she's looking at me with this look like she's expecting me to agree with her. Okay. And I just hit her with the stale face. Right? Like, okay. And I was like, she's stupid. So I remember thinking two thoughts. There are two thoughts that crossed my mind as soon as she said that. The first thought was, she's a dum-dum. Okay? She's a dum-dum because she has no earthly idea who I am. She has no earthly idea that I am a salesperson, a proud sales professional, by the way. Okay. The second thing that I thought was, she is extremely ignorant. Well, actually, I had three thoughts that kind of crossed my mind now that I think about it. But the second thought is, I thought she's extremely ignorant, because what she doesn't realize is that if it wasn't for salespeople like the person who reached out to her, she wouldn't have a fucking job. You know why? Because business is predicated on somebody selling a product, service, or solution to someone else. If it wasn't for salespeople, nobody would have a job. Do you understand how that works? Salespeople make everything happen in a business. That's why in any business in America, the most valuable people in any business are the salespeople. Okay? So that's the second thing that came to mind. But here, the third thing that came to mind was the most important thing. And that's what I want to talk to you about in today's episode. The third thing is, she doesn't realize that she's a sales professional. And I don't even know what she does. Okay? I have no earthly, this was my first time meeting this lady. Okay? She didn't make a great favorable impression with me. She thought she was when she said that stupid stuff out her mouth. But she doesn't realize that she's a sales professional. Yeah. I'm going to explain this to you. Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Career Strategies, where I'm dedicated to teaching you strategies that are designed to help you kick ass and take names when it comes to advancing your career. My name is Rodney Hughes, Mr. 100%, and today's episode is being brought to you by Interview Prep University. If you need help preparing for an upcoming telephone, video, or face-to-face interview, and you want to be best prepared to avoid the major pitfalls that cause most people to fail miserably when they're going through the interview process, then you got to take advantage of this free virtual training platform. Head on over to www.interviewprepuniversity.com. Again, that's www.interviewprepuniversity.com, and you'll get free instant access to this extremely valuable platform. Again, that's www.interviewprepuniversity.com. Okay, so the topic for today's episode is this. NEWSFLASH. NEWSFLASH. Everybody's a sales professional. And when I say everybody's a sales professional, I mean everybody's a sales professional. I don't care what you think you do for a living. Let me explain. Regardless of what you think your profession is, or what you claim your profession is, or what you believe your profession is, understand this. A sale must be made first before you get to do whatever it is that you're doing. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care if you're a nurse. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you are a actuary, or if you are an underwriter, or if you are a consultant, or if you are any position in the world, essentially. A sale must be made first. And although you don't look at yourself as a sales professional, understand this: you got to sell before you get to do whatever it is you think you are doing for a living. Okay? Understand this. You got to get the job first. And in order to get the job, you must sell somebody that you are the right fit and that you are the solution for the job. That we call it an interview process, but truly what it is a sales process. Okay? You are selling yourself to an organization. You are trying to convince someone. Let's not say convince. You are trying to help someone understand the value that you bring to an organization or their organization. And if you do a good enough job of doing that, you get the job, right? You have sold them that you're the solution that they're looking for. You see how that works? If you do a poor job at doing that, then guess what you have done? You have done a poor job of selling, and you didn't get the business, right? See, whether you think you are or not, you are a sales professional, right? Yeah, you don't like calling yourself. See, here's the thing. I think where people get things distorted about sales professionals is they have this idea, they have this picture that they're operating with of what a salesperson is, or what a sales professional is. Like this lady, when she said that ignorant stuff to me on the actual elevator, she thought that was going to resonate with me, but it doesn't. To me, she looks stupid. Okay? Or highly ignorant, or whatever you want to call it. That's what she looked like to me. Because see, she didn't understand that she herself is an actual sales professional. Because if she wasn't, she wouldn't have been able to get the job that she has. Right? Selling is nothing more than a skill. It's a skill. It's a skill that everybody has to utilize, whether they like it or not. if you're interacting on a business level with anybody, 9 times out of 10, sales is going to be a part of that process. Anytime that you have to gain see, we use all these catchy words like we have to collaborate and we got to gain buy-in and all this type of shit. Listen, all you're doing is you are selling, right? Regardless of what your title is, in order for you to get the job, you got to sell. In order for you to keep your job, you got to sell. In order for you to advance in your job, you have to sell. There is no other way around it. As a matter of fact, I'd even go to the extent of saying that your first job, everybody has 2 jobs, except for sales professionals, right? Sales professionals have 1 job. They sell to get in, and then they sell to keep their job, and they sell every single day to sell a product, service, or solution. So a salesperson is just a salesperson, right? But everybody else is first a sales professional, and then they're whatever else they are. See how that works? And I mean, this literally applies to every single position that's ever been created in any company. Selling is a skill. And people are walking around with this distorted picture of what they think a salesperson is. See, most people, when they think about a salesperson, you always hear people say stuff like, a slimy used car salesman. That's what comes up in their mind. When, sales is one of those words that has been branded poorly. It puts me in the mind of like a pit bull, right? I used to teach this in my seminars. Sales or selling is a word that is almost synonymous with like pit bull, okay? In the sense that, and maybe synonymous wasn't the right word, but it's a word that's very similar to the word pit bull. It's polarizing, right? Most people most of the time you don't find people in the middle. People either love salespeople or they hate salespeople, okay? Because of the picture that they're operating with of what they think a salesperson is. They don't realize that they're a salesperson, okay? But just like a pit bull, right? If someone is scared of a pit bull, like really legitimately scared of a pit bull, it doesn't matter how many facts I tell this person about pit bulls. I can say, look, like, no, seriously, statistically speaking, they're actually not that dangerous of a dog. Like, it's not that many attacks that actually happen by the hands of a pit bull on a year-to-year basis. Like if I showed some statistics that showed that most violent pit bulls are typically being handled by people, poor masters or whatever you want to call them, dog owners, right? It wouldn't matter to somebody if they're scared, right? Because people are either operating with the picture that, pit bulls are great animals, or they're operating with the mindset and the picture that all pit bulls are vicious, right? And if they have that perspective or that picture that they're operating with, it doesn't matter if a pit bull is the nicest pit bull in the world. They're seeing a vicious animal, right? And you can show them as many facts as you want, and that won't change it until they're ready to change. Okay? And so that's how sales is, right? People have this idea that they're operating with, and they don't even realize that the only reason they got a job is because of salespeople, and furthermore, that they're a salesperson. So hopefully what you'll take from this episode is an understanding that you are a salesperson first. Don't ever forget that. And as a matter of fact, I would highly recommend that anybody, regardless of what profession you claim to be a part of, okay, regardless of what it is that you have decided to specialize in, I think everybody should learn how to develop their sales skills. You understand? Because that's what you are first, and you're using it every single day, whether you want to do it or not, when you're interacting with people. And as a matter of fact, when you look at the people who advance in their career, whether they're working for somebody or whether they're working for themselves, the people who typically advance are the ones who are really good at sales. Okay? Sales runs the world when it comes to a career perspective. From a career perspective, sales runs the world. Everybody is a salesperson. You, me, my wife, your significant other. Everybody is a salesperson first, regardless of the business that they're in, regardless of the industry they're in, regardless of the position that they have. And so just keep that in mind, okay? Develop that skill and watch that skill right there. I don't care how good you are at whatever else it is you do. You develop this skill right here, selling, right? And watch if it doesn't help you elevate in your career. That skill alone will help you elevate above people who are actually better at your craft than you are. Do you think that the best psychologist in the world is Dr. Phil? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying he's stupid or anything, but I don't think he's probably the best one in the world. But I bet the best one in the world probably wouldn't want to compare bank balances with Dr. Phil. That's for sure. Okay. Why? Because he has sold his way into a position where he gets an outrageous amount of attention. And he's able to leverage that attention, which is a part of the sales process, getting attention for yourself. He's able to leverage that attention to generate a lot of money and to be very successful and to impact a lot more lives than the average psychologist. Man, I could just break this down from so many different angles, okay? I just don't even have enough time to really break it down the way it needs to be broken down. I just need you to trust me. Everybody is a salesperson first, and then they do whatever it is that they do as their craft. Regardless of what your actual title is, trust me, you are a salesperson first. Okay? So let's have a little bit more respect for sales professionals, right? We wouldn't have jobs without them. You see how that works? All right. Enough of my venting. Hopefully you got some great value out of today's episode. All right? My fellow salesperson. Listen, if you haven't done so already, pick up a copy of my book, The Ugly Truth About Getting Hired, How to Land the Job of Your Dreams Regardless of the Competition. Here's the deal. The single greatest challenge you're going to face in your career is competition. Okay? Single greatest challenge. Right now, as we speak, the competition is absolutely fierce, and over the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, it's going to become absolutely insane. Okay? This book is designed to teach you how to do one thing and one thing only. It's designed to teach you how to exponentially improve your skills when it comes to eliminating your competition by positioning yourself as the ideal candidate of choice, regardless of the industry you're working in, regardless of the role that you're applying for. If you'd like to learn more about it, head on over to my website and pick up a copy of the book. It's www.theuglytruthbook.com. Again, that's www.theuglytruthbook.com. All right. Well, listen, again, hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, listen, share this content with others. Go on your social medias and share it so that we can wake other people up and let them know. Yeah. You are a salesperson. All right. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.